have we had one heck of a week here. A lot is going on around New Eden, and I got a couple of things to kind of bring up to date and then get into the little short this afternoon. Finally, it's Wednesday. I know these things are never going to happen every single Monday like I keep envisioning them to happen, but so a couple things we're going to run down. One, we're going to talk about how to avoid wallet and hanger theft, because that's been something that's been going around for a really long time now. A lot of huge thefts over the last 2 months. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid that. Number two, we're going to talk about tax evasion 101. That kind of correlates around with the avoiding, pun intended, the wallet theft. And hey, guess what? Some news about implants coming, and I'll tell you how that's going to impact the game. Some Trello updates as well. And of course, a little bit of breaking news from just the other day. I tried to steal Damon Zell's Citadel, but instead he decided to leave PHPC before I could, and so I stole it anyway. All right, so let's get into the first thing with the wallet hangers and thefts. It's a really simple thing to look at your permissions and figure out who's got actual access to your wallet in your corporation and who doesn't. But then again, in the permissions page, it's not exactly straightforward. So for me, what I do is, I've got it relegated down to these top three: the CEO, the admiral, that's only two people, and the directors. And the directors are the ones who have access to the corp wallet. Now, with that said, the builders do as well, unfortunately. So that's the space rigs or scrapper rigs, right? And so the problem with that is you kind of have to, with transactions right here, give those people corp wallet access in order for them to be able to build on the building side. So that's one thing that NetEase needs to change. They need to change that. But with that said, you've just got to select few right here that have access to the wallet, and nobody else needs access to it at all. You don't need to touch it. Same thing with the hangers. Hangers need to be very restricted. This looks like shit. This looks like everybody has access to it, but in reality, that's only like 5 or 6 people. And of course, they're stamping approval for people. Only certain people can request a pull or approve a pull request. Anyway, that's what these little stamps are right here. These are the ability to approve a pull. Everything else is, you can take it in and out. Again, a mining direct. This is like 6 people. But with scrappers, that's your builders. They've got to have access to those hangers, right? Quartermasters, they've got to have access to certain hangers, but not others. And so you kind of break it up a little bit. Now, you might be saying, okay, but if I do that, Taylor, what happens to transfer hangers, right? We use hanger 4 as a transfer hanger, and we never stick anything in there. So it's a totally open hanger. There's nothing in it. And so it's an easy transfer hanger for guys to use. They can just throw their stuff in there so their alt can go and grab it, or if they're splitting loot for whatever else they're doing, it's a transfer hanger. So there's no need for anybody to have just open access to an actual corporation hanger itself. Just we set number 4 as the transfer. So anyway, now that's really simple and straightforward, and I'm not sure how people don't do that. So then the question becomes, well, but what about trying to move money between one alt or another, or paying somebody without having to have a contract so that we don't have to pay taxes? That's how people use the corporation wallet. Well, that's a really shitty way to do it too. Instead, what you should do is you should come right into the wallet, go in and hit donate, and donate however much you're going to put in, right? That's you putting in the money. Then you go around to the market right here, and you can create a mission for yourself where you're requesting the money. And then one of the directors or the CEO himself can go and approve it. So you put the money up there. The person who needs to receive the money can go in here and do it, and they can pull it down that way. It doesn't have an audit timer. So your 1 hour audit timer of doing a withdrawal from the corp wallet is gone. You don't have to give somebody temporary permissions or have any kind of specific permission. We used to do that a long time ago. We actually had one specific permission track that was just for ISK transfer, and I think I even called that title ISK transfer, so that nobody would ever just be sitting over there. And you'd get on, you'd give them that role, they'd go do their withdrawal, you'd take that role away, then they would wait an hour for their funds. Well, you don't have to do that this way either. This way it gets rid of all of that. It gets rid of you having to be around at a specific time. It gets rid of a 1 hour audit time on the pull, and it gets rid of having to play the permissions game. So these are some very simple, easy tasks to avoid theft from your hangers and your wallet. Real simple, right? Now, another thing that came up, I'm going to get out of that. I don't need any of that. Another thing that came up just the other day, I don't need to get in here to look at this. I think it shows it here with these encounter missions. Actually, I can go, nope, it's not in the encounter missions. I'm trying to think of where it is here. Maybe underneath dormant signal. Here we go. I got a couple of these drops today. These are implants. These are boosters anyway for your implants. So one thing to note about this, if you're ratting these dormant signals and these boxes are there for you to pick up, if you want to split that with somebody, if you're not doing it solo, don't pick them up, because as soon as you have them in your hangar, they're not tradable, and they're not supposed to be tradable because they give you these things, and it's clone bound, right? Which means, and now this means two things, and someone said this earlier today or yesterday whenever they put up their video. They were a little premature, this certain guy with the captain's hat. When it says clone bound, it actually means more than just, well, you can't trade it, it's non-tradable. It actually means it's bound to your clone, which means if you use a jump clone, or you're podded, or you pod yourself to go back to another, wherever, this thing goes away. It is bound to your clone. If you have implants or neural compilers like this one's, I don't know how these are going to work in EVE Echoes. I know how they used to work back in EVE Online, and it would scare the ever-living shit out of me, but I would use them, hoping to hell I wouldn't get potted. One thing to lose your ship, it's another thing to lose these, because then you literally lose skills. You literally lose your advantage that these things bring you, and you have to go and replace them again. And sometimes they're worth more than your damn ship. So I don't know how it's going to work in EVE Echoes, but when that says clone bound, that literally means it is bound to your specific clone. So as soon as you use a jump clone, as soon as you get potted, it's gone. Now, maybe they're going to do something different to where the jump clones allow you to keep these, which I think would suck. Honestly, we need more things that are constantly having to be farmed. If it's not going to be ore, minerals and PI because they're worthless, because everybody gets their shit back for free, then at least it's something like this. And at least we have these grinds that are there for good reason right now. Whether it's, the hell of expensive B-types and, trying to advance your C-type modules, or tactical modules for Workles, which are making all the Dead Space loot just go through the freaking roof, because it takes so much, and you only get your best bet on a tactical module is 80%. So that just sucks. But anyway, so this is just a word of a wise to the implants and how they work. Make sure that when you're looting those with your buddies, you let everybody pull from those individually, because these are going to be things that you're going to be using over and over and over and over again. And I don't know what they're going to do in terms of what kind of skill boosts they'll give you. They could, if it's anything like EVE Online, it could be things that give you better control over your weapons, as in tracking. You have a better cognitive ability, so you're faster with locking. Those aren't really soft skills, but they kind of are soft skills. I don't think they should be or will be anything that gives you better DPS or better inertia. I think they're going to be things that give you better cognitive ability to your clone specifically. So maybe injectors will make your skill points go faster. An extra 5% boost or a +5 boost to your skill points per hour. Like I said, tracking, things like that. Maybe better EWAR. God, I hope they really improve EWAR. They really need to improve EWAR in this game. It's not non-existent. I hear people say that it's non-existent, but it's not, because everybody who's worth their salt with PvP has EWAR on, whether it's tracking disruptors, newts, obviously scrams. But anyway, there's not much there. Like, I really wish there was a module in your mid slots that would just make someone's lock just go away, like there is on EVE Online. That is fun as hell, screwing with people when they can't lock you. But anyway, I digress. That's the quick and dirty on the implants. And then, of course, there's the Starfaring Festival. Everybody kind of gets an idea what's going on there. The Voyage thing has been pushed off to August. That is not because not enough people have signed up. That is probably just because they don't have everything put together to be able to launch it yet. I know of at least 10 corps just around me that did it day one. So I know damn well there's plenty of corps that ponied up that $50 basically by the CEO to make it work. So let's talk about the Trello updates, because that was updated today by Cartley. Cartley just recently found out about the Trello update roadmap and decided to go and update it, which was fantastic. It hasn't been updated in a very long time. There are two key things to note from that I think everybody should know. There's a bunch of stuff on there, but it's kind of vague. I don't know what this SS14 and SS15 are. We'll figure that out as we get closer. But there's two cool things that are on there, and the biggest one to me is the Halloween event. And I hope they bring back the real Halloween event from the very beginning of this game, because I love those skins, those pumpkin face skins. I forget what those things are called, but you can't get them anymore. Nobody has them or wants to give them up because they're so rare. And they're fantastic. And the Halloween event was really good. So that is coming back, hopefully in pretty much the same form that we got all the way back in 2020. And then, of course, Illusionary Ghost Part 2 is coming back in November as well. So those are two very key things coming up, not to mention, of course, the anniversary update that's coming up next month that we have to look forward to that I think are going to be great. Everybody loved the Halloween event, so that's cool. And I think a lot of people did like the Illusionary Ghost event, even though it was a whale event. I mean, guys, just get over it. They're going to have their whaling events. Let them have their whaling events. Let them make some money. You don't have to participate in that. It doesn't actually hurt your gameplay. It doesn't give anybody an I win button. So I'm fine with these events because I just don't participate in them. And I don't have to get mad or angry because someone decided to spend $5,000 on the game. That means I get to play the game longer. So that's fine. So those are two things that are coming. And then, of course, on the anniversary event, obviously we know now that sleepers are part of the game. This was supposed to be somewhat of a soft rollout or a mysterious rollout. In fact, the devs had even asked several of us to write some little lead-in stories, and I'd had an idea to write a log entry thing. I've got a bunch of those written. I know Scipio has written some stuff. I know Crimson King has written some stuff. We're going to still roll all that out. I know I myself and Crimson, we're going to roll that stuff out just because it was fun. It was fun to do, even though the cat's out of the bag. We have the sleepers coming. But anyway, it was supposed to be kind of a quiet, mysterious rollout into the anniversary. But, yeah, it says sleeper right in the damn anomaly, so what can we do? I don't know if that was a misstep or not, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So then, of course, whether this means super caps are coming or what ships are coming with it, it's still very up in the air. I think super caps are coming sooner rather than later. Will they definitely land next month with the anniversary update? I don't know. They haven't said. They haven't told us yet. Even if they did, I couldn't tell you, but I'm honestly telling you they haven't told us. So I'm not really sure. But we do know that there's some new, for the Enforcer prototype is coming. That's already in the ship tree. So we're going to see some new things there. That's going to be cool. And there's a new event coming as well, a new mode of gameplay. And part of that's on the Trello map, actually. I almost forgot about this, but it's called Corporation Warfare. And I want to say, I'm hoping that is basically like a faction war games, a DIR, but it's against your own corp mates. Like you can just form your separate fleets and you can go in there and practice with each other inside of your corp right there at your citadel. I hope that's the case because that sounds fun as fuck. I cannot wait to blow up all my guys. Okay, so speaking of blowing up all my guys, I really tried to rush down to catch this week as fast as I could and steal Damon Cell's citadel from him because he was a member of PHPC, and the whole thing going on right now with Silent and PHPC, Terran Federation, or what's left of Terran Federation. And he left before I could do that, so I was really sad. I really wanted to leave him a note, on the doorstep saying, thank you for your interview, which is what he normally tells people if and when he kills them in his RV co-ops. That was a fun fight. I had a succubus. He had an RV co-ops. This is like a month or two ago. And I saw him come through my system, and I just had to. I didn't have anything else. I should not have gone after an RB2 covert ops in a succubus, but I did for the fuck of it. And, of course, he killed me, as he should, because if he didn't, that would have been really sad. And, of course, when I die, he goes, thank you for the interview. So I really wanted to do the same thing down in Catch. I thought that would be fun. But, alas, he took off, ran off. Don't know what he's doing now. I think in his latest video, he's kind of homeless at the moment and looking for somewhere else to go. So, Damon, good luck to that. Hope you find a new home. And I guess that's it. That's it for this short Echoes of New Eden. I'm Taylor Rick. Be sure to join us tomorrow night as we announce what we're going to be doing for our next game show. I think we're going to be going with Battle of the Belts, which is not really a game show at all. It's going to be a free-for-all, but wait to hear some more information about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, if you've read the descriptions on Reddit about how we do it, then you know a little bit anyway. We're going to be battling out in a belt somewhere in New Eden with a certain type of ship. And other than that, I actually don't know anymore because I haven't gotten caught up with Rambo and Crimson's conversations in our staff chat. But that is coming. So tomorrow night, make sure to tune in. Echoes of New Eden. It'll be live on Discord. Always a lot of fun. It's a great time. We even have an after party where we sit around and talk and bullshit, and everybody's on comms and everybody's unmuted, and you just can't get a word in edgewise usually. We got a lot of guys, a lot of the other content creators like to come and join and hang out with us. So that's always fun. Oh, and I do, before I'm finished here, I do have one correction. I didn't realize that screen was still up. Sorry. I do have one correction from last week's show when we had an interview with Zen. And I asked him a question specifically about Alondra. And Alondra did reach out to me and was not appreciative of that comment. She took it as I was calling her a whore. I was not. That was not my intention. It was just meant as a joke. So my apologies to Alondra if she thought that I was calling her a whore. You're not a whore, Alondria. I just thought it was funny. So anyway, that's all I got. I'll be back next week with another short. Hopefully it's on a Monday, but who knows? It'll probably be on a Friday. But any day ending in Y is a good day for Echoes of New Eden Short. Thanks, guys, and we'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.